our site then?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Today, we meet Christine Bannerman. Christine recently came back to Ghana after working for many years in South Africa. She returned to her home country to start her own African business, but not necessarily the type of business you would expect.
Well, I was living in South Africa. I was working for a mining firm in South Africa as the company secretary, and I thought about moving back home. Another thing I thought about was setting up my own business, which I've always wanted to do. And I decided to scout the market and look for a business that would have less competition out there and which I would be more likely to succeed in. And funeral homes came to mind mainly because of the Ghanaians' culture and with regards to funeral homes, funerals and how important it was to us. It's a big thing in the Ghanaian society, and I knew that once I set that up and it was upmarket and brilliant, I could do well.
Christine managed to get startup capital through Grofin. Grofin also offered Christine practical business advice to make sure her new funeral home would stay ahead of the competition.
Yeah, one of the practical things is that we advise them to hire an embalmer from the industry, somebody well experienced, so that he or she could handle the aspect of the service where bodies are brought in and they leave them more as they were brought in and even better than the families brought in there. So with that, the company is expected to excel because then they could handle bodies very well for the families.
Break down the walls. Okay. And the contractor came in and gave me an advice as to how we want to expand and make sure it's large enough to accommodate between 70 to 100 bodies.
So which of the buildings, this one or the...
Well, this one, and I'm not quite sure. Well, we want to build a chapel over there, and we want to have something that when our clients come in, if you choose to have your ceremony here, it will be easier to do because we have a chapel, we'll have a priest and everything, things like that. But I would deal more with, we want to also deal with grief counseling as well, so that's what we're going to do. And then most of the grounds will be beautiful landscapes which will provide a certain kind of serenity that you associate with funeral homes like you see abroad.
It's very important because then you want to increase your market share. If you are not different from your competitors, then everybody sees you as the same. But you need to be different, and I believe that Banner Home will be very different because of the people behind it who have really toiled and have come this far. I know that they won't just allow things to deteriorate. They will still want to be ahead of the competitors.
People die every day, just the same way people are born. So you're more likely to succeed if you're dealing with, businesses in that regard. And that's why we decided to go ahead and do the funeral home. You can't really go wrong with that. Well, fingers crossed.